AI is gonna really change like the world in different ways. And for us, like we want to focus more on the creator economy because that's just a point where a lot of people spend a lot of their time. Want to hear from their favorite influencer. They purchase things from what their creator has recommended. Creators get a lot of messages and some of them are just manually messaging them back or just going through it or trying to go through it because they get so many and their inboxes are just getting filled up. Our tool helps automate a lot of that servicing, replying, getting their fans the responses that they want to hear in a very personalized, human-like way. So we actually help these creators increase their engagement by automating it, and also on the side, helping them monetize through these engagements and also media.
Why do you think San Francisco is important for AI?
Really believe San Francisco is the spot for AI. A lot of AI companies are headquartered in San Francisco. AI investors specifically are also here. It's always a place where you go to any event or you go to any gathering you're always gonna learn something about AI. There's always partnerships to be done.
Hello everyone, super excited for this new episode of AI Insights here in San Francisco. Today with Maggie. Thank you, Maggie, for coming today. Maggie, I have a question for you. I have been working on the video industry for many, many years. Have been working with influencers, agencies, and the influencers that I have been working on, they have thousands, if not millions of followers, and they cannot keep a track of all the messages. And it's, what you saw that is thousands of messages every day they receive it. You cannot, one person or one agency cannot answer all the questions that the fans have. How does your company solve this problem?
That's a great question. Creators get a lot of messages and some of them are just manually messaging them back or just going through it or trying to go through it because they get so many and their inboxes are just getting filled up. And so our tool helps automate a lot of that servicing, replying, getting their fans the responses that they want to hear in a very personalized, human-like way. So we actually help these creators increase their engagement by automating it, and also on the side, helping them monetize through these engagements and also media. So I'm the co-founder CEO of MyCompanions. We make creator AI tools for creators, and our goal is to just basically help these creators, give them time to do things like content ideation by using AI to automate a lot of their servicing needs and manual things that they currently do and spend a lot of time on.
Yeah. That's nice. I test the platform. It is great. And we're going to go over the details now. But before I go to details, I want to know a little bit more yourself, how you got into this awesome company, this awesome product.
Yeah, okay. So I was a social media influencer for about 10 years now. So I was one of the earlier ones when Instagram first started. And I somehow got a lot of followers and through just showing my lifestyle and pictures of myself. And so I took short breaks here and there due to many reasons, including just safety or me just trying to be more professional in my career. So having said that, I've always worked corporate. Mm-hmm. So I have previously did an internship at a startup before, but most of my jobs are corporate. I worked at Amazon, Morgan Stanley, East West Bank, Lending Club, Adobe. I focused primarily on analytics. And so as you know now, the landscape of AI, it actually automates a lot of analytics and helping our job a lot easier. And so I just show having tried out some of the AI products, I'm oh wow, I think AI is we definitely see a use case for this and how it's gonna help a lot of businesses scale exponentially and unprecedented scale across all industries, and also help companies and people solve a lot of issues and questions that humans cannot solve themselves, because it's an artificial intelligence model and it gets trained, and so therefore it should, and we expect that to improve over time with more data, right? So so I wanted to start my own company and on board the entrepreneurial life, especially being in Silicon Valley, just super inspired by everyone here. And so I decided that I knew firsthand about how hard it was for me to engage with my fans when in my influencing days. Mm-hmm. And so I talked to two friends who are my co-founders now. So one of them is an AI genius. He's a CTO. So he has like a PhD from like University of Cambridge, and he basically can make anything happen.
Right.
So he's like the technical person in our company, and he was very interested in this industry as well too, and like wanted to work with me on it. And my other co-founder is an investor, an entrepreneur, also does like some investments in AI, and has like previously had like really successful like startups in the past that like just did really well. And he was like like let me just like be part of this and teach you guys like how to get this started, how do companies work. So us three, like we just started this together. We decided to like get really into it. So I was just like the person kind of like giving my expertise, my own experience, the pain points. And then like we just made it happen. So our CTO like basically coded like the whole thing. Like the first product we now have two products. The first product we have all by himself, and he did it like in like a very quickly way, and it was great. I mean, and then the last like 7 months, like we just like been like fine tuning it, and like now we have launched like a beta version of our next product. So yeah, that's we saw like early success with our first product, and we are very bullish that AI is going to really change like the world in different ways. And for us, like we want to focus more on the creator economy, because that's just a point where a lot of people like spend a lot of their time, right? People around the world, like they want to hear from their favorite influencer. They like purchase things from like what their creator has recommended or is using, or and so I think there's a lot of opportunity there to AI to like kind of augment and also replace some of the things that creators do, to give on both sides benefits for not just the creators but also the fans.
Right. And then so you have been working with social media, and you know how the industry works. When was the moment that you realized like this is the problem and I need to solve this problem with technology? When was this click? When was this moment that it started?
Yeah, so first like what I had was like getting flooded with messages, and like I'm a smaller creator than like most of my friends, so I just can't imagine their inbox, right? And I would like miss out on a lot of cool messages, and like maybe like once a year I'll go into my inbox. Like I have like 3 inboxes that like depends on like the algorithm which one it gets sorted into. But there was actually some like cool messages in my spam box
I didn't know
that I wish that I just like saw earlier, and I was like, this would have been super helpful, but it was marked as spam.
And months later, yeah.
And also like there was like some people who had like were just like who messaged me saying like they were super inspired by me. Like I like help them in their lives in a positive way. I inspire like a lot of these people, especially women, like in my own, like when I share my own lifestyle story, just like, how so like ever since I was younger, I always like worked really hard, had jobs and did like extra schooling and startups, internships, et cetera. So I think people are really inspired by that. And so I like wish I would like see them earlier. And like sometimes I'll be like, wow, like, sorry, this is a year late, but this is so meaningful to me. And they'll be so happy they got a response back. And I'm like, I just wish like someone could have responded to them sooner instead of like them just like sending me like a very heartfelt message, but like just gets ignored. Or like some people are just going through a really dark time and like they wanted to hear from me and I couldn't hear from them back, and I wish I was like there for them or someone was there for them. So and so that was like the first part, like just like acknowledging that these problems were there. The second part is I work in tech. So just like seeing, I was like I was in Amazon when I was like in 2015, and I'm just seeing how like Amazon really revolutionized like people's lives. It's other than being the most customer-centric company in the world, like just making e-commerce like easy for people who like live in like faraway places, may not have access to a car, may not have access to specific products. And also like giving like great recommendations to people who might want something else. They really like helped a lot of people who wanted to start a business, especially like a consumer product business, like scale, especially with the fulfillment, like services, et cetera. And like they also enabled like customers to like, live better lives with like more like selection of products they can get that may not have been sold at their like local store.
Right.
So yeah, so having said that, like I just see how much, and I was also an analyst at Amazon.
Yeah.
So yeah, having said that, like I just see how technology has really enabled people, and like reach is like really important. So like not just having the technology. So there's a lot of startups that have great products, but like don't reach people because of like, you know, whether it's like lack of marketing or like yeah, or like just like go to market has been like very difficult for them, or like website it doesn't looks like a scam. Not using the right payment. Yeah, you know, there's like a lot of reasons why like.
Or sometimes even the product's not a good fit for the market itself. They have the great solution, but the market is not ready for that, or doesn't fit on the market, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they don't have like the customers or users to give them feedback for them to iterate quickly. So that's like, yeah, so yeah, I just think like this, I saw like an opportunity based on my own pain points and just talking to some of my like influencer friends as well. And I was like, you know, like I could really do something about this. And I was actually like sitting around it for a while, but like just seeing how a lot of my friends like made their own companies and like helped so many lives, and, you know, just like in my own corporate experience, I would just like, I need to do something. And my co-founders like were like the ones who really enabled me to like do it. And we did it together.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm super grateful for my team. Yeah, and I hope we change the world.
Nice. Yeah, because I use the product. It's super nice. Let's talk about the first one. I use it, super nice. And can you explain how it works for people that don't know what is your product right now?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'll try my best. Because, you know, I'm speaking from the lens of like the creator. Our product lives on Telegram, which is a messaging platform like WhatsApp, iMessage, SMS, and WeChat, etc., Facebook Messenger. Yeah, so it's it's really easy for companies to build on this because it's like pretty easy to make a bot, and a lot of other chatbot companies use this. It also integrates well with other payment providers. So it was a great platform to get started at. Secondly, we like it because it's also produces like more like customer stickiness because it's already an app you already have, right? Whereas like other companies, when they use like websites or apps, like you're gonna have downloads of apps, and then also like you have to like make sure people come to your website again and again, or like to use that product.
It is, yeah, it's hard to have. There's a lot of steps the customer needs to have to get into there. So yeah, if you have already a Telegram, it's just easy. Just connect and it's ready.
Exactly, yeah. And like people are in groups on Telegram already, and they have like their friends on Telegram. Some people do their work there, and so like having us just be part of that like was like an easy choice for us to make. So having said that, we use AI to emulate the influencers like personality, voice. And we communicate to their fans via voice, text, photos, and videos. So the text and voice part is AI generated. Voice we use 11 Labs, and then like text we use a bunch of LLMs plus our own fine tuning. And media currently right now is just like the regular, it's just like photos and videos they give us. But we do foresee like a future where we want to do like AI generated photos and videos. So we're basically the middleware layer between the fan and the creator. So we create a bot for them. These creators, they promote it on their story or their Instagram, their social media platforms, mostly their story, because it's easy to click through.
Yeah.
Link in bio, and and their fans go onto it and they start messaging the bot, and like the bot delivers like very personalized messages in the voice of the creator. If the creator wants the voice, some of them don't. They were like, oh, that's not for me, and they don't want their voice on it. They just want like text only. So yeah, it depends on the creator's needs and like preferences. But yeah, so basically the fan is basically can like imagine talking to the creator on the Telegram, and there's also so it's like a two-way conversation. In my opinion, very emotive, engaging. You can role play scenarios with the creator. So for example, like you can like talk about a dinner date with your creator, or like you can even ask the creator to like, oh, what's the weather? Like tell me more about wine, or like what's a good book to read right now. So it could be like anything, and we like that a lot. So or just anyone to answer your day.
So I saw in your store the other day, you're like, hey, test my AI bot. And I was like, okay, let's test it. So then I click it. I went to Telegram, and then I start talking to you, your AI bot. My experience was very nice because I started to talk, send a message, and then you reply in a text. Like, okay, that is interesting. So you can interact like that. And then suddenly you send a voice message to me. Your AI bot sent a voice message to me. It was exactly your voice.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. No, and then my first thing is like, this might be recorded already. And then I asked her another question regarding to anything that very specific that I said. And then reply your voice again. I was like, this is amazing. This is so nice. How you can make this voice look so real.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I really appreciate that compliment. Yeah, so it's really cool how AI can replicate voices, right? It's as if you're talking to me, but it's even better because it's faster in responses.
It's live, yeah. It's pretty much live, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 11 Labs is the voice generation platform we use. They use like training data, I believe, on like thousands of different voices and accents. So we just ask the creator to send us like voice samples of like 10 minutes, and like 10 minutes is usually enough. But sometimes we need more, and like as long as it's like minimal background noise, just talking slowly, being very clear, and if there's an accent, like really like stress that accent more, especially the unique ones, because sometimes the training data doesn't have specific accents. Yeah, so we test it out. Like, so we put it in this model. We like say, I also write the script for it, which I believe like people would like the bot would like say specific words more. So like I write the script for that. I would try different variations for it. Yeah, and so after we test it out, and if it's not there yet, we'll ask for more samples. Sometimes we have like creators give us 30 minutes depending on how much they care about the voice. Yeah, but like some of our creators that only like 8 minutes, and they're like, I don't want to record anymore. And it was like a one-on-one match. Like they even like posted on their own Instagram and like was like, this is my real voice saying the same thing as like this like AI bot, and it's like 101, and their fans like loved it so much, and they're like, this is like exactly like talking to the real person, and like the same like tonality, voice, accent, and the excitement. Yeah.
And how you bring the influencer personality into the AI? How you can bring those informations? What does the influencer need to give it to you for you to be able to train the data and then give it to the person that's watching the other end?
Yeah, so it really depends on the creator, like how much they want to give us. But we can actually make a bot with minimal like data, as long as we kind of know like. So we asked about like what personality preference they have. Like we have like default ones, but yeah, but some creators could give us like logs of chats they have, and we'll just like feed it into the model. So it really depends. But it depends on like some creators like how precise they want that to be. But I think one important thing that we always ask for is like, what do you not want to answer to? Yeah.
Okay. And what they usually things that they don't want to talk.
Yeah, like religion, politics, anything controversial. They want to like stay away from that. So so like for those, it's like it could be like a hard stop on that, or it can just be like, oh, let's talk about something else. Like if a fan asks about those things. It just depends on the creator, and we have like a set of questions we ask them that's optional if they want to like provide more color, and just like a FAQ of what we see like fans ask the creator. And yeah, it's like up to the creator to give us what it is. Like some creators don't want their actual age there, and that's totally fine. And I'm like, tell us what you want the bot to say. Yeah.
And people might be wondering what is the business model for the revenue into the service?
It definitely varies. So we typically go with like a 50-50 like net revenue share with the creator. We have like their likeness, and if they were referred by someone, so this is the variation. It's like then we give like 5% of that net revenue to like the referrer, and perpetuity. So basically, if a creator is with us for like 3 years. I mean, no one has left yet, so hopefully this is a forever thing.
Yes.
So like then like this person who referred them will get like 5% of like those earnings, like, you know, in like as long as the bot's online. So and so that's why it varies on that. And with that, it's like we use like their likeness. They're promoting the bot, but we also do that too. We also promote the bot. We handle all the QA, the monitoring, and all. Like we just give the creator like every month, and maybe the refer, like here's your monthly check. Here's and like if you want more money, this is what I suggest you to do. It could be more promotions. It could be like we want more media. Yeah, so I'll always give suggestions. None of it is ever mandatory.
And for the customer side, do they pay weekly, monthly? How does it work?
Oh yeah. Okay. So how the revenue comes in? Another really great question. I should have specified earlier. Okay. Yeah. So the fans, every fan will get or user will get about like 3 like free messages before they hit paywall, just to try it out. And we also have a demo on the website if they don't want to try it out. They just want to see how it works. So yeah, after that they hit paywall, they'll pay about $2.50 a week for like messages, and then tips will like make up a lot of our revenue. So like it can range from like $5 to like 100. It just depends. Yeah. Yeah.
So then does the bot can sell other things on the conversation?
Yeah.
And sell other products or other services? I don't know.
Oh, like you mean like for like other brands? Or
No, I would say like if they can sell other content inside the platform on the conversation. Like, hey, if you want to do this, besides the tips, can they sell anything?
Yeah, so it's automated monetization. So like, you know, when someone's using the bot or like, and they're talking about like, oh, it's like I'm on a beach, and they're like, oh, you want to see me on a beach, and then like here's a photo, and then you like pay for that. Like the user can pay for that. Sometimes videos, but it just depends on what the creator gives us, and then we can leverage that. So in our company, we actually have like an AI model to kind of look at the photos and derive context from that automatically, and then deliver that experience automatically to the user. So
oh, nice.
Yeah.
So we don't need to specify in each photo. The system itself already read the image. So if the influencer want to send just like 1,000 images for you, you're gonna identify what is what, and then you can connect this with the conversation.
exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that's so important, especially for like content creators, right? They have so many photos, but like, you know, selling the right ones at the right time is what we really optimize for. And there's always a better time to do it. And I think like right then in the moment is always the best from what we see when like the conversation is like heating up to that. And we also have tip escalation. So basically like if a user, you know, pays $5 and like after we see like a certain like paying pattern, it will automatically escalate the amount of money and like content. So like we really try to maximize monetization here. Yeah, I think it really benefits both creators and fans, because these fans, they want the content. They want to see the exclusive content that's not on Instagram, and these creators have that, and they also want to monetize. So we kind of become that marketplace, but we automate it.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. And how many creators do you have right now? And if you have any numbers that you want to share?
Yeah, so we have about like 25 creators right now. We're expected to like triple that like very soon. We are scaling very quickly now, so that's gonna like very near thing. We like spent a lot of time just developing the product, doing a lot of fine tuning in this past 7 months, which actually is like, it's a lot of work, even though it's like subtle, minor changes. And we really believe in our product that will really help creators. And so yeah, now we're just ready to scale and like go hard. We're talking to a lot of agencies already, and we have like a huge pipeline. So yeah, we're expected that number to like just skyrocket.
Do you want to talk about what is the difference about your second product?
After seeing like the success and the demand that people like love having these great conversations with our like first product, which is these AI chatbots that our creators promote, we're like, okay, so we can definitely leverage this in like other creator platforms like Patreon and like Vegans, etc. There's a lot of like creator platforms we have in mind for that. So we are making integrations with the platform itself. So these creators could just use it as a browser extension, and then there'll be like an AI chatter communicating with their fans and getting automatic tips for like their content to be pushed. So that's our second product, and so that's where we're talking to agencies. We're like talking to like these platforms to have this all set in and integrated. Yeah, so it's like very similar, like technology-wise. I believe that's our tech moat. Yes, but it's just like, you know, the browser extension was an extra step, and also just like being able to like develop the extra technology and having like the capacity to scale a lot faster. That was what we've been like kind of like heads down on in the past month. Yeah.
And then if an influencer or agency wants to join there, how does it work?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So very easy. So all they gotta go is to my website, which is MyCompanions.ai. So yeah, creators can sign up there very easily. There's a contact us button that actually leads to my email, and I'm always on it, so I'll be checking. So that's like how like to get signed up on. And onboarding only takes like 5 minutes, and then we'll just do all the work, and so it's super fast. We've created the self-service flow like really recently, and we're happy to say like it works really well now.
Nice.
To like make these bots like pump out them out really quickly. Yeah.
Nice.
And if you want to refer someone, you can also do so on our website. Yeah, and then any like other press related, it's all on our website.
So you started a company here in San Francisco. Why do you think San Francisco is important for AI?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really believe San Francisco is like the spot for AI due to many reasons. I mean, first off, like a lot of AI companies are headquartered in San Francisco. A lot of investors, like AI investors specifically, are also here. But yeah, like I think like San Francisco is just great because you have all like, the tech giants like from here. You have this like history and this community of tech people that it's always like a place where like you go to any event or like you go to any gathering you're always going to learn something about AI. There's always like partnerships to be done. So my first media release on like a big AI newsletter was actually from like I just went to a brunch and like just didn't realize like this person was like part of this like head of this publication, and he just like put up my Medium post out, and like that was my first thing, and it happened like within like a day. So it's just so much really efficient getting things done in San Francisco due to the people here and everyone's willingness to help. It really fosters a community where like everyone wants to help each other. Like there's a lot of founders, entrepreneurs, investors, or just people who like ask good questions, or like users who are willing to give like really good feedback. And it all and people who like support you. So I think it's like a great place to have a company. And like due to like many people working in tech, the conversations you have are more about like how do we always make it easier for the customer? How do we innovate? And like what have you been doing? What hasn't worked? And so yeah, all this just goes into like it become like a very like solution oriented place. Yeah,
right.
With a lot of resources.
Right.
Yeah. So
people, money, yeah.
Yeah, people, money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I spend most of my week here just like going to events, and I events that are like more geared towards like AI, like women in AI clubs, or like panels, conferences. So yeah, it's a super great place to start an AI company or just get into AI. And like a lot of these companies even host like parties, and like when I say parties, it's like we're gonna gather and talk about AI.
Yeah, this is the type of party we're having here.
We'll wear work clothes, aka Patagonia. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Yeah.
And what is your plan for the future features in your product?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think this might change because I like love how it's just things are just ever changing landscape. Yeah. So as of now, like what I'm super excited for is successful integrations into creator platforms, but yeah, like also like AI generated photos and videos and media. I think that's going to be like really groundbreaking. Like. And also like a better, so I think that's going to be a major one. And like the ability to just like scale faster, move faster. Yeah, with everything we've been working on in the last month to like do more of a self-serve like process of onboarding. So I think that's like what I'm super excited for. Yeah.
And for the future in AI itself, what do you think? How you can see AI in 3, 5, 10 years from now?
Ooh, that's a great question. Okay, so I think it's that my sentiment towards AI, it's very exciting, super positive. I think it's really going to improve how businesses run in people's lives and deliver very personalized, quick experiences for people and really solve a lot of the questions we've had, make advances in things like healthcare, medical, provide everyone like a companion, a friend, someone who's always there. So I think the adoption of AI is only going to rise from here, and a lot of companies are already using AI and like making AI tools. Not only because it's like a hot topic right now, but I think it's just very useful for consumers and businesses.
And the technology is going so fast right now. So you need to understand what's going on and put applicable ways to run that, right?
Yeah.
Like you see, you have the problem before, but on technology before, you didn't have this accessibility, but now I have the accessibility to build this product right now.
Exactly.
So not just the moment, that the buzzword, but actually the technology is allow us to do this right now, these things, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's going to really replace a lot of like the manual servicing, especially for customer service, like a lot of these mundane tasks that can be taken care of. Yeah, so I think that's going to give more time to like the people to like do more ideation, more like thinking about innovative strategies. Yeah, and yeah, so I think AI is going to be applicable for everyone. It's going to just increase its reach and really help change the world to make it better. Given, I mean, I am aware of like the issues that also come with AI. Like I think data privacy, right, is one of them. Regulations.
Yeah, that was gonna be the question. What do you think about the other side of AI? Because you're talking about with user data, and we talk about final customer. How you protect both sides?
Yeah. That's a question for the government. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think it's really important for AI companies to just like, honor that and like work in good faith. So like for my company, like we like sell our information. It's all like very highly secured. No, we don't let any third party access it. We don't sell it or anything. And so as long as AI companies are acting in good faith, and hopefully they're like, even when they're like developing like models, like they're not using someone else's work for it, or if they did, like make sure like they have the rights to it. Like I think that's really important. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of like controversial nuances that come with AI, and it's like growing so fast that like it's really hard to like put a break on it. But I believe that like with the rise of it, like we also see the rise of like these topics that come into mind. Yeah, so I think like, nevertheless, I personally think like AI is still gonna be beneficial to humanity, and that like with regulations, always just coming in, like I think hopefully we find like a good resolution and really put companies to be acting in the best faith, like best way.
So for the people that want to go into AI and want to know more about it and doesn't have any background on it, what do you suggest?
Yeah, so I suggest everyone who has not tried AI to try it first. So a really accessible one is, Google Gemini, like ChatGPT. These are very like standard free to use AI tools. And also just like read more about like what's going on in the AI world, how companies are implementing AI. And a lot of companies are right now like putting a lot of press releases on their new AI features, and try them out. I personally learned about AI like by just reading transcripts of open AI interviews to like get more knowledgeable into it. And I use AI a lot before I even started my own company. So yeah, and then look at like different like photos. Use my platform and to like look at hear the voices of these creators and like the text, how we emulate the personality, and most importantly, watch the AI Insights series, all the videos in this series. So I think that'll be a great way for you to learn more about AI.
Thank you. Yeah, Maggie, thank you so much for coming here, for sharing your knowledge, and see you guys into the next video.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you.